Well, that was interesting. It replayed it. What is going on, Ghost Squad and CloverTac crew? Welcome to another episode of the Ghost and Clover, the Clover and Ghost show, whatever you want to call it. It's a show that we come up with about every couple of weeks. Just kind of hang out, the two of us, and talk a little about what's happened the last week or two, and just relax and have a good time hanging with our buddies and asking or answering any questions out there. So just kind of hanging out, and whatever happens. We'll go down some rabbit holes and do some Q&A and all sorts of good stuff. So if you're out there on the YouTube side, we're always live on YouTube as always. This week we're going to be on my channel, and next time we'll be on Clover's. We alternated. So thanks for catching up with us. I'm also simulcasting this over on the GunChannels, and I will, if you guys are interested in the GunChannels, I will put the link over there in the YouTube. So there you go. Obviously, GunChannels, we hear us preach about it all the time. It's a great community for pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment advocates and activists alike. And it's not to hang out. All of your show hosts and content creators, most of us are over there. So come check us out. Want to bring in real quick before we do the shout-outs, the old ball and chain, the co-host, the tactical leprechaun himself. What's up, Clove? You doing all right, buddy?
I would like to take a minute under the advice of my lawyers to put out this public service announcement, please. The Ghost and Clover show is prone to fits of toxic masculinity. If you are triggered by such toxic masculinity, please retreat to your safe space and begin coloring in your coloring book until such time that the real men are done talking. Thank you.
Wow, I don't even know where to go with that. So awesome. I thought that was going to go a totally different direction when you first started, not going to lie. Let's kind of do some shout outs while the notifications get out there working on the Sunday afternoon on a blazing hot 100-degree day, at least where I am. Let's see who out there was first. Ben Farrell was first. Crackle P11 Jr. was out there first. You got the Grim Reaper out there. Scott P. Jet is out there. Hottie says, howdy. Ben says he likes the music. That is... I'm not going to get another copyright claim on that, because if I do, that's from the YouTube audio library itself. So if I get a copyright claim on that one, then we're going to have words. But yeah, it's pretty good music. Patrick Pew Pew's out there. Warsaw Patriot. Storm, what's up, Storm? He says, how do you afford the new place? A little Breaking Bad action. How did you afford the new place? Oh, the yacht. This is, I stole this yacht, actually. We were here on a lake, and this big yacht came in, and I said, you know what, that looks like that's where I need to do the show from. So I borrowed it. Hope they don't mind. I'm just out in the middle of the lake right here in the yacht. So we'll see what happens. Maybe the Corps of Engineers won't come looking for me. Let's see here. He says, looks like more like War Dogs. He says, Warsaw. Black Cat, what's up, RL? Scott P. Hey, RL, I caught your live chat yesterday at the range, and I wanted to ask because it looked like it was a really, really, really good turnout. Did you organize that, or who organized that? Because I was really happy to see, 5, 6, 7, 8 different tents and booths set up. So that was a really cool one. So did you set that up, or did someone else? Arminth's out there, that guy's wife. Let's see here. Warsaw, Scott. Am I missing anybody? I guess not. If you're out there, guys, and you haven't said anything, we don't know you're out there unless you say something. So go ahead and say hello. If it's your first time to my channel or Clover's channel or this show, go ahead and say where you're from and all of that jazz. If you guys have any questions for either Clover and I, go ahead and tag us, and we will try to do our best to answer those as much as we can. Warsaw says, did you know there's a character named Ghost from the video game Call of Duty Modern Warfare series? He's in the British SAS Special Forces. Yes, I did. I was a big Call of Duty fan. Now I'm more playing now Rainbow Six Siege. It's a great game. But yeah, I used to play a lot of Call of Duty. Ghost was a nickname and a call sign of mine from the Marine Corps. That's why I kind of gone with it. But that was a call sign that I used back then. So yeah. Anyways, let's see here. Clover, I know there was something that we were both kind of, and I think the world might have been a little excited or anticipating something happened this week, and I didn't know if you wanted to start out the week on something that was kind of shocking a little bit.
Yeah, hell hath officially froze over.
Oh, it has. Okay, yeah, it has.
Yeah, so that's the headline. But yeah, Yankee actually shot a gun on camera. It's like, wow.
He did. He had. I would say that he had better camera service, a cameraman than you had at SHOT Show Range Day. The cameraman you had when you were shooting at SHOT Show, that guy was crappy. Yankee had a son, seemed to be new to it, but at least it caught him in flip-flops nonetheless, shooting with flip-flops on.
Yeah, amazing. Awesome. We love it.
Yeah. But the fact that he shot was great, and, because a lot of people, and I wonder if he caved to the pressure because, for months now, a lot of people say he's got all these guns, but he never seems to shoot them. Well, we know he shoots them. He just doesn't like to shoot them on camera for whatever reason, but he did. And it was a really nice, I guess it's a replica of the old Browning High Point. I don't remember it's TISES or some weird, I never heard of it before.
Sauce, yeah. He
sauce, yeah.
He calls it titmouse, and everybody's like, "Ooh, that's dirty." And I'm like, "You realize the titmouse is a bird, right? It's a songbird. It's not a dirty word. Go look it up." But anyway, I don't know that he knows that. Surely he does. Yankee's pretty bright.
Oh, I would. Who knows? I would say,
I see a gun drama Johnny in the future on that one probably.
I would imagine that might show up as soon as Johnny gets back. And I know he's taking a summer break, but that might be the season premiere. Really could be.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff there. Good stuff.
Yeah. We've had a lot of stuff going on. I'm crazy busy at work. I haven't been to the range over a month, so I'm trying to get to the range maybe this afternoon, this evening when it cools down. It's like 101 degrees. It is. What's up, Nate? Rob D. Said he said he saw the video and needs some camera work. Yeah, I think his son did it, but no. Yeah, but
Scott says he thought we was going to say Yankee bought a Turkish gun. I don't have a problem if you go buy a Turkish gun, and Yankee just said the same thing. He's like, if you want it, and you're okay with buying it, all right, and so I guess that's what he took his own advice or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I own a Turkish gun, but yeah, it's one of those where, and it seemed to me. From his review, I thought it was actually a pretty good review. He kind of was talking about some different things that he had to make some improvements on. I think at the end of it, he said he gave an A+ if you make some of the adjustments and stuff that he made. Probably give it a B just out of the box. But I think he said it was a couple $200 or $300 basically high point not high point, a high power replica. And so if you're looking for a gun that's like a Browning high power that you want to spend half the price on, maybe this is the gun. So go check out Yankee's video. I'm sure you probably already have, but if you really want to see Yankee shooting on camera, it might be the first time you've ever seen it before. So yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what he said he had to replace now. I think he said he replaced the extractor. He replaced the extractor.
Yeah.
Firing pin plate, and
was it just a plate?
And then he put an ambi safety on it, I think he said.
Yeah.
Things he did. Ambi safety, I don't think there was an issue there, but I think he said, what was it, 1,000 rounds? The factory extractor starts having trouble, and then like
I think he said up to 5,000 for the. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, up to 5,000, I think, for that firing pin plate. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and Yankee's pretty critical about guns usually, and for him to sit there and say if you make these, modifications, he's giving it an A+.
Well, especially on a Turkish gun like that. So
exactly, yeah.
That was I found that kind of interesting that he did. Of course, he's been wanting something like that for a very, very long time. So,
well, Ben Farrell's got us some homework to do for Matt's chat. Apparently, he said the documentary Breaking Bad Wolf is about an ex-cop in Palm Beach County that fled to Russia after being raided by the PBSO and FBI for exposing corruption. He recommends it. I'll look at it. I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I'm not like Matt where he'll watch 7 different series at a time. I don't watch a lot of TV. So. Yeah,
I'll binge on a few when the new stuff comes out on Netflix. I'll usually binge them and get them out of the way. And there's anxiety there, right? Because I really don't want to be sitting there for 12, 13, 18, however many episodes. But I do binge them to try to get them out of the freaking way. That way I can move on with my life. I couldn't watch multiple hours of television a day in and day out. Just couldn't do it.
Yeah, RL said that he organized the shoot with a friend of his that owns the farm they were on. Had 45 people. That's awesome. Congratulations to you, RL. That was like I said, I just watched the live stuff, and it was great to see on a Saturday afternoon that there was that many people just out having fun shooting. So congratulations on that. It was good to see that stuff. Excuse me, golly.
Scott says he also did a got rid of the mag disconnect on that.
Yeah, I had forgotten about that. When I saw that, I had forgotten that he did that as well.
They're really going crazy with the whole mag disconnect thing. It's like everything you get, it's got stupid mag disconnect in it.
That must be the thing this year, you know.
I guess I don't.
Every year's kind of got what they want to do, and which, you know,
and it's particularly a pain in the butt with competitions and stuff. It really is.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see here. He says the biggest turnout they've had so far. I've been trying to do it for 2 years, so it was really good. Good for you, RL. Thursday night was a cool show for you, Clover, and I always love your Thursday night shows. I learn something every week, and just kind of the back end stuff of how the YouTube and how the technology works. And you had Austin and Paul on from GunStreamer. And if you guys are not familiar with GunStreamer, obviously, Clover, you can put your links out there as well. But I'm going to go ahead and put my GunStreamer link out there. GunStreamer is, excuse me.
I was going to throw mine out there, but instead I threw the main link. So anyway.
All right. Well, I think yours is just at CloverTac after that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely get over there and check out GunStreamer. Pretty awesome.
It's great.
And get the app, I got the app. I mean, it's you're able to look at things on mobile, so you're not bound to your PC that way. You can't administer things as a creator on mobile, but at least you can see what all's going on, view videos and stuff like that. So highly recommend it.
Yeah. And the app is, if you're just going to watch videos, the app's perfectly fine. But like you said, there are some things I'm sure eventually it'll evolve into more of a creator's app as well, or they might have a separate app, like YouTube Studio or all that, but for the creators. But it's a great app that you can definitely tell they're working their asses off. They're putting in all the time. Austin right now is funding this from his pocket. Austin and Paul were great to have on. They were very open about the algorithm and what they're trying to do for creators, the monetization side of things. So if you haven't watched it yet, go back on the Clover's channel and watch the after hours from last Thursday with the guys from GunStreamer. Austin and Paul, I don't know if Paul will be. I know Austin was planning on being on my show this coming Tuesday, so check that out. We'll probably dive into some of the same stuff and let him talk to you guys about GunStreamer. But yeah, they're pretty much anything that's gun related. They're not going to censor. They're not going to restrict. It is all about getting the love out there for the gun community. So go check out GunStreamer. We appreciate these guys. I don't have the resources, nor the time, nor the patience, honestly, to start my own platform like these guys have and Night Strike and other people are trying to do. So I'm all for supporting them and all for getting them out there and helping them out, because I couldn't do it myself,
Yeah. The Nate out there, he says this Turkish Beretta clone is done well, closing in on 1,000 rounds, no catastrophic issues. Speed ramp needed a little polishing, but he thinks this because of the flat-nosed 40 bullets compared to the 9mm ball.
Those flat nosed to do it for sure.
I mean that's you run into that issue a lot of times with hollow points too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, usually if you polish that ramp out, that'll eliminate that problem. But on as far as I'm holding up, that Beretta design is that's just a proven design. It really is. It's sort of like the 1911, platform, I guess, or I don't know what you would call it, but it it just works. It was well designed. So
yeah.
No matter who makes it, they ought to be able to do a pretty good job because they're working with a good design. So as long as they use decent materials and stuff like that, they
Tardot's out there. What's up, Tardot? I know this guy. Now, I've been busy, but who's busy. Tardot's going busy right now, so I know you don't have a whole lot of time. But thanks for dropping in. It's good seeing you, buddy.
Heck yeah. You may be out driving or something.
It could be, yeah. Now, we do have a question from Nate out there. He said, what's the most you've ever spent on a gun that was intended to just be a range toy?
Interesting. Do I really have to disclose that?
How about this?
Are we talking? Are we talking full pack?
Gun or the price? Do you want the gun or the price?
Well, are we talking? And are we talking full package, or are we talking about just the firearm itself?
Yeah, because the attachments are a whole new ball game.
Yeah, we're talking about
I've got an AR that has got probably a lot of money into it if you start counting everything. You know,
right. It's
Scopes,
gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for me to answer that. It's gonna be hard for me to answer that question as far as.
Well, I can probably tell you. I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but I'll tell you I've got probably $2,000 in an AR with everything. So.
Yeah, I probably got. I don't know. I don't think I've got anything that hits quite the $2,000 mark as far as money that I've got in it.
1,700, 1,800, but it's upwards of 1,500. We'll see, 1,500 to 2,000 for. We're talking everything. Everything that's been done to it, and all of that. It's
right. Yeah,
you've got some expensive guns, but I don't think that some of those are not.
No, it's like that that AR-50, for example.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to tell. It'll make people sick. I tell you about.
No, but that's not necessarily a range toy,
That was that's about the only place I shoot it. So
I know, but you didn't buy it and just specifically to go shoot it every now and then on the range. It was
that's true. That's true. The one that comes to mind is my Savage, my FCP. Let's see, Model 10 FCP HS, and then it's had it's got. Then on top of that, it's got the it's got a first focal plane scope, probably about a $600 scope sitting on top of it, and then time you figure all that in, and then it had action work and some other things done by Savage sharpshooters as well. So there's probably in the package and the setup on that, there's probably 1,500 in that. I would say.
Laggy out there says, "What's your safe queen or the most historical firearm you own?" I got one from a. Go ahead. You go first. First.
No, go ahead. I've got several.
I don't have a whole lot of historical stuff. I do have a Springfield 1903 that my grandfather had passed down that I've actually never shot. It's not in the greatest shape. It was not a display gun for him. It was a work gun for him down in Mississippi and all that. So I don't even know what kind of internals it has. I probably need to take it to a smith to look at and all that. I've never fired it, but that's one that I'll always have, and I might not ever fire it. But I got a 1903 Springfield. That's awesome.
I've got quite a few that come to mind when you talk about historical, because that's one of the things I really like is I like the firearms around the 1900s, late 1880s, early 1900s, right? That was a really cool time for firearms. That was, you were seeing them in the hardware stores and the feed stores and the everyman guns, right? And it's Americana to me, and I love that. And there's a lot of history and that stuff. But when we talk about that one that comes to mind, I've got a Marlin. I've got a Marlin pump shotgun that was one of 300 given to stockholders back in like 1908 or 1910 or some crap.
Really?
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Got just that. Where did I buy that? It was in a pawn shop somewhere.
They probably had no idea what it was.
They had no clue. They thought it was just an old Marlin pump shotgun. I literally bought it for like old Marlin pump shotgun price, which was still a couple $100 or so. But it's one of 300. Yeah. I don't know how many are in existence, but it's one of 300 made. Now it's not worth it's not worth thousands of dollars or anything. And that's one thing you have to keep in mind. I've had some old French revolvers and some other stuff that I really never could get running.
Right.
And I won't own a gun if it's not able to be fired, regardless of whether I plan on firing it a bunch in the future.
Oh, sure.
I want it to be operational. And so anyway, I bought a lot of old, and I say French, a lot of European, revolvers and things like that over the years, really, really cheap. And then you end up can't finding parts, right? And
right.
You research them, and there's none. They're non-existent. I mean, it's like, okay, why there's none of these in the entire United States anywhere? Nobody else has one. There's no parts. I mean, they're fairly rare, but they're essentially worthless. I mean, there's no demand for them or anything. So
no, it's at that point, it's all sentimental or, like you said, historical. You know.
Yeah, just because you have a firearm that's 150, nowadays even pushing 200 years old, doesn't mean it's worth a lot of money.
No.
And that Marlin example, really cool story. I also own several across the years, not the actual firearm, but I'm kind of morbid like that with the history behind certain ones that were used in assassinations and assassination attempts. Those are kind of cool to have.
It's interesting.
Showing people off. You're like, hey, this is the one that, Kennedy was shot with or whatever, And they're like, ooh, that's kind of creepy. And you're like, a little bit.
A little bit. But,
and then I've got a, I want to say it's my number 4 Mark I infield. That's really neat. It was a bring back. The guy, back in the days when you could get on Facebook and do stuff, and the guy put an infield, and I'm an infield guy. Didn't have a number 4. He put it up. It looked like it was in pretty good shape. Price was right, and I had to drive like a little over an hour, I think, to meet him and get it. So I met him. He was a younger kid and told me it belonged to his grandpa or great grandpa one, and it was a bring back. It wasn't a bring back, but it was it was a bring back. Anyway, so he's like, his grandpa had passed away and all this other stuff, and he got it. And I'm like, dude, are you sure you want to sell this blah, 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 blah with the story he told me on it, right? And he's like, oh, yeah. He says, he was a young guy, had a young family and all this. And I said, hey, dude, you've got my information. If you ever want it back, let me know. And there's been a few that I've bought over the years that I've told the people that. I'm like, look, if you ever want it back, let me know.
Right. Never contact you?
No, that's been several years ago now, and I hadn't heard from him. So who knows? 10 years from now, he might call me up. I don't know. But anyway, got it home, got to cleaning around and looking, and I pulled the magazine, pulled the mag out of it, looking around and cleaning it, and carved inside the mag well is the last name Odell. And so I was telling some other people that know a little more about infields and as far as Britain and that sort of stuff. And they said, that had to have seen wartime, and I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah, they said, because you couldn't carve anything in, mark your rifles in any way when they went into the racks, that everybody wanted their same rifle, right? Because they had their sights set up or it shot a certain way or whatever. And you couldn't, if you tried to mark it or something, that was like defacing property of the crown, right? And they're like, what they would do is they would make marks inside the stock that you couldn't see like externally when they were just sitting in the rack. And they were like, yeah, almost certainly it actually seen some type of action, overseas. So that's kind of cool. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, there's probably no way to verify that, but
there's no way to verify. But I mean,
it sounds like a legitimate thing, though.
It's all a plausible story,
Sure.
And still a part of history and cool little stories, and I like things like that. Things like that are cool.
Right. On here.
Now, Warsaw says what rifle was Kennedy shot with? That was a Carcano.
Kennedy? It's Carcano, wasn't it? I think it was Carcano, yeah.
Well, officially.
Well, yeah. Who actually knows?
If you've ever shot a Carcano, then, dude, he was good. That's all I gotta say.
A pretty good shot with
he was a good shot.
Iron sights and everything else,
Yeah, you don't like to go down the whole conspiracy hole, or I don't, but
man,
it certainly starts. If you ever get hands on one and shoot one, then you start thinking, man, that's maybe something.
And was that not like a Sears Roebuck purchase or something like that? I mean,
yeah, I don't remember, but I mean, back in that day, that was pre 68 legislation. So back in that day, it was pretty much open season to buy whatever, wherever.
Well, I don't know if we want to go down this rabbit hole or not.
Talking about what Ben's saying, I would prefer not to.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So, Ben, that's well. If you want to email me, and I will tell you my favorite jokes in an email, that's fine. But you know, it is what it is. Let's go down here. So yeah, I know Ben's trying to get it again, and not going to happen today, brother. And yes, Lee Harvey Oswald was a Marine, and that is something that we're going to deal with forever. But he was a Marine. But I still don't think that he was the only one that was firing from that distance with that rifle.
I have seen a lot of different, of course, I mean, that was years and years, decades and decades ago. So you've got so many conspiracy theories over the years, and scenarios and the way it's played out and everything else. And I've heard so many different stories. Yeah, it's interesting.
Midnight Range says we need to send Ben over to Alan B. Pro's first live chat. Now, if you want to go down some rabbit holes, yeah, go check out Alan B. Pro's very first live chat. That's probably what, October or so of last year, maybe, I don't know, and all that. And yeah, that was definitely an interesting. He was literally putting out the link into the chat, and we had that room filled up, and it went down some rabbit holes. So, yeah, Ben, you probably enjoy that one. You like some of the rabbit hole shows. So,
oh yeah, definitely. Yep.
Let's see here. It's just Alan B. Pro, all one word, Alan B. Pro. If some of my mods out there want to drop that link into Alan's channel into the chat, go for it. I have no problem with that. Whatever. But yeah, so sorry about that. We were talking privately a little bit about some different stuff that has been going on, and I had a little rant video about Trump. I just got sick and tired of seeing the news and everything is, he's not my president, I didn't vote for him, and blah blah blah, blah. And I was like, so I got a little upset, did a rant video, and then lo and behold, you go shopping yesterday. And
yeah, I don't know, something you said it earlier when we was talking on the phone about there's something in the air. The heat's getting to people. I don't know what's going on.
So they like rants, man.
Well, and it's provoking rants, I think, too.
Yeah, could be. But tell us a little bit, for those of you who haven't seen Clover's show video about that, it just dropped a little while ago last night. But tell us what happened in your shopping experience yesterday.
Well, we go to town and let's see, we went and ate, and we did some other things. And my wife says, well, she's starting that new job tomorrow. In a new place. They're doing the same thing, blah blah blah. She just did a transfer where it's like she's 10 minutes from home, 15 minutes from home instead of an hour.
That's better, yeah.
Anyway, so not a huge change, but a change nonetheless. Anyway, she was talking about new shoes. Nurses, they wear out shoes pretty quick, and it's an important thing and all that. So I'm like, well, we're in town. I mean, if you want to get some shoes, let's go. So anyway, we go over and go to Bell's, which is, I don't know if it's somebody out there, I can't remember who commented that he's never heard of it, but Bell's, Palais Royal, Goodies, and Stage.
Yeah, see, where I am, we have a Stage, so it must be all the same.
Those, it's all the same company.
Okay.
I think Bell's may be more of a southern thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we go in there, and the shoes I bought for SHOT Show, bought in there, still got those. I don't wear tennis shoes too often. Usually it's either steel toe boots or my Crocs, but still got those. I bought clothes in there over the years. I bought other stuff in there over the years, and so regular customer and family will, anyway, going to buy the shoes, and I wasn't thinking nothing about it. You walk in, and the cash registers are, there's 10 people in each line at every cash register and all this. So, and eventually it's like, oh, there's a sale going on. That's why there's people backed up everywhere. So I go over there, and we're looking at the shoes, and I pass by the sign, and it says, doorbusters, buy one, get one free, items all throughout the store, mix and match, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, cool. I guess you can get 2 pair of shoes then or something, right? And she's like, or you can get a pair. And I'm like, nah, I got the ones from SHOT Show. But I thought, something clicked, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna walk over there and look. Right, I was
Let's see
walking
what they have
around,
at least. Yeah.
kind of waiting on her to pick her shoes anyway, and I wasn't gonna be any help with that. So
No, you're not.
around. Well, it's not like I was looking for anything. This crap just smacked me square in the face. I go over to the men's shoes, and everywhere on the women's side, it was every price tag was like doorbuster, 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 doorbuster. And so I go over to the men's side because I'm just going to look, and nothing. I mean, nothing. I went up and down every aisle, looked at every pair of shoes. I mean, it just, when I walked over there, it was blatantly obvious. And I'm like, look at this crap. So anyway, I go back and I'm upset, and she's like, oh my God, just chill out, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, nope. I said, it's a roll call moment. I said, I'm turning the camera on. And so I turn the camera on and I do a little film of a couple of things. That way I can put a little video together. And then also did an Instagram post right then and there. But anyway, she was checking out. She did buy some stuff, and that's fine. And while she was checking out, I did walk through the actual men's department with the shirts and the pants and the jeans and all that stuff, right? And I seen one gondola, whatever you call it, with like some store brand polo shirts that had the doorbuster thing on it. That was it. The entire men's department that I seen as far as tags. So it was just, like I said, it was in your face, blatantly obvious. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Somebody needs to say something about this.
And you did, and actually got a response, didn't you?
And I did. We went from there over to the grocery store. Once you got through paying for the shoes and everything. And anyway, we got over to the grocery store, and we weren't in there but just a few minutes, and Bales actually responded to the Instagram post. This was before I even posted the video.
Yeah. And
they said, hey, DM us your DM us, we can understand why you seem upset, blah, blah, blah. People DM us your phone number and email, we would, love to talk with you about it, this, that, and the other. So I said, well, yeah, I'll do that. Let me get home, blah, 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 whatever. And of course my email wasn't working at that time either, which kind of sucked, but, whole other issue. But told them, yeah, that, because I wanted some time to think about it, because I knew their play. I already knew before they ever responded about what they were going to say. I knew they were probably going to fall back on some kind of store policy, fine print crap, right? They were going to fall back on this whole, which a lot of the comments I got on that video were this way. The whole, well, women are, 90% of their, their business there, blah, 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 right? And probably put it off on the store, right?
Probably.
That sort of thing. And then probably offer me some stuff. Well, if you'll go online or you'll go to the store, we'll give you a pair of free shoes. So I'm like, number one, it's not about free shoes or free crap or discounts. I don't care about that. I don't want none of that. I got good shoes that I bought from your store. I don't want anything from you. That's first of all. Second of all, the whole, well, women are 90% of our business is crap, because take this channel, for example, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sure if you go look at your analytics, it's 99% men. But you're not going to get over here and say, okay, we're going to do a giveaway here on Ghost Tactical only for the men. You're not going to do that.
Sorry, sorry, Tina. Sorry, Vanessa. Sorry, Molly. Sorry.
So, the principle, that principle is the same regardless. And then as far as the putting it off on the store, I'm thinking, well, if they do that, then here's my comeback on that, because, the store doesn't set the policy. The company sets the policy. So anyway,
right. Now, by the way, real quick, your wife is out there saying that she had to listen to this rant live and in person on the way home, and she wishes she had a dash cam because it was obviously much more funny when you were still upset about it. So
she was. She said that on the way home. She's like, "We really need a dash cam. We really need to put a camera in here that way, and we need to just kick it on and record, whether we go live or not. Just kick it on and record, and then edit that down and put it out." She said, because it's hilarious. And I'm like, we can't do that because the cursing is ridiculous. Yeah. When I get wound up, I don't do it here. I am very, very mild. But yeah,
I've seen you when you get fired up.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it in private.
Fired up and,
It just wouldn't
yeah,
work.
there would be people that would think much differently of us if they seen us get fired up. We've both seen each other and heard each other get fired up before, so
I think so. And I don't want people thinking that's me all the time, because it's not. But yeah, that flew all over me. Now, I'm not gonna get. I don't want to get into that here, because I do want to do a video later and address that. Bells has responded. We have been in communique, and I'll do a follow up. They're entitled to defend their position. They're entitled to tell their side of the story. Everything else, and that's part of what I put when I told them that, gave them my contact information. I said, I'll give you my contact information, but understand, any communication we have is on the record. Right?
That's right. Yeah, it's not going to be private, and all that stuff. It's on the record.
Turn around once we get through back and forth, and I'm going to do a follow up, and I'm going to let everybody know this is the conversation that went on, between us. This is what happened, because I believe that's fair. Now that said, just like in the video, I'm not here to say boycott Bales. I'm not here to say, get on there and give them all kinds of grief or troll them, or anything like that. I mean, I'm a longtime customer. Bales is a great thing, especially for smaller rural towns and stuff like that, because you're really, other than Walmart and Dollar General and Family Dollar and places like that, right? You just don't have a place to buy quality clothes, shoes, things like that, except for those Bales or Stage or whatever type stores. So, I don't want to cause trouble, drive them out of business, whatever. I mean, that's cutting my own throat as far as a place to buy clothes. I just want them to recognize that they're being a little ridiculous with stuff. And I think just a change in signage and sale policy, I think it'd be a really easy change for them to fix what's wrong.
Yeah. Now, Vanessa brought up a point earlier. She was talking about when it has one of those big sales. A lot of the times they are shoes that have either been there for a long time, but she said that size, they might have one because they only have like 10s or above left. They're just trying to get rid of. And that's true. And that's true. But I think what Clover's trying to say is if you have 10 buy one, get one sale items out there, and 9 of them are women and 1 of them are men, or 10 of them were women and none of them were men, and the excuse is, well, 90% of our sales are through women. Maybe you would have more men shop at the store. This is just me. If the guys knew that you actually seem to throw out a little buy one, get one for the men also. So maybe you would expand your shopping demographics.
And it's not even a 10 to 1. I mean, it was more like, from what I was seeing, honestly, from where I was seeing, it was hundreds to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was a stark difference. If it was,
it was like 10. Yeah, we're talking
10 to 1, I wouldn't have noticed it. But like I said, I walked through like just the women's shoes, not the clothes, just the women's shoes. There were dozens and dozens of that doorbuster thing, which is not a clearance sale. It's different. There was dozens and dozens of the doorbuster thing just in the women's shoes. And I seen one in the entire men's shoes plus the men's clothing department. So
want to send a little shout out to 9mm. Travis must have let her out of her room today. So Travis let her out more often. We miss seeing her. So it's been a long time, Mia. Welcome back. And next time that Travis tries to put you in the corner again, you hit him with that frying pan and say, "No one puts baby in the corner." See how he does. Hey, Nighthog's out there. What's up? He said he got your Lucky Charms, lad. Oh, he got your Lucky Charms. Yeah,
I bet he did. He got the fake ones. It's all good.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What they call those? I seen those the other day. Marshmallow mateys. He got the marshmallow mateys, is what he is.
Is that what they are?
Yeah, I just put them in a Lucky Charm box just to fool everybody. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
So the Trump thing that you did, which is kind of weird. Yeah. That was not planned. I know we do things.
No, it was not planned.
Back to back. The whole
I literally just turned on my camera and it was back-to-back rants between me and you. It was funny.
We didn't talk about that, and my wife can vouch for that. We had no clue a sale was going on. We had no intentions, honestly, of buying shoes kind of last minute that day. So it's kind of weird how that works. But we've done it before, even with the Braden thing.
Yeah, it is one of those weird things that, a lot of people think that we think a lot alike, which we do. And a lot of people think that we probably talk about what we're planning on doing. We talk probably every day, at least a little bit, but I don't remember hardly ever in the last year, maybe once or twice, but I don't remember ever talking about, hey, I'm getting ready to do this video and all that, because we kind of do our own thing. But it is eerie to know that sometimes it just works out to where we both get pissed off at the same time. I don't know,
We talk sometimes about specific videos, like I know sometimes you'll say, well, I got to get out to the range, I got to do the drill of the month, or and that's not something I'm gonna do or copy. Or I'll say, hey, yeah, I've got to do a bench review on this, or whatever. But I mean, that's not something that we're each able to copy off of each other or anything. But
right.
What provoked all the Trump rant? Just curious.
All right. So the biggest thing for me is, like I said, and it's been building up and building up and building up. And, locally, we have a lot of people that the Democrats forever ruled Arkansas until probably the last 20, 30 years. And there used to be literally one county that was a Republican county in the state of Arkansas. And back when they were doing the highway thing with Eisenhower and all of them, the main highway Interstate 40 that goes from Memphis to Oklahoma City literally bypasses Fort Smith, which was at the time the second largest city in the state behind Little Rock, who's our capital, because it was a Republican city. Literally bypasses the second biggest city in the state. To this day, it bypasses that same city. And so everything was big Democrat. Well, obviously things change. Well, now it's like everyone is so just crazy about Trump, and he's dividing families. He's sending families home. Well, they're here illegally. Okay. I'm sorry. If you want to come in this family and you want your kids and your family to stay together, then get a green card. My wife has a green card. She's had one for 20-some years. Do it legally. But they're talking about the guns. They're talking about this. And they're talking about that. And all these times he signs, or he's not my president. I didn't vote for him. He can kiss my ass, go to hell. He's not my president. I'm just going, oh my God. And so I start hearing this stuff. And then I tell you what, I don't watch Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel and all these guys much anymore, because first of all, it's just not very good TV anymore. I really could care less what celebrities had to talk about. I'm not a fanboy of them. But the monologues they have are now, it's all Trump, and I get that. But if you go back to when like Obama was in office, they would joke about Obama, but they weren't critical. They weren't getting the knives out and stabbing him. They weren't, it's just deadly brutal on Obama as they are Trump. And even they're getting involved now, not my president, hashtag not my president. I'm just like, you know what? And you and I have talked about this. For me, the biggest thing is I'm waiting for someone, and it may not ever happen again, but I'm waiting for someone to run for president that's not running as a Republican or a Democrat, to sit there and say, look, fiscally, because that's where I'm at. Fiscally, I'm very, very conservative fiscally. On the social side of things, I probably tend to go a little bit more liberal. I have absolutely no problem with gay people getting married. I have no problem with any of that, I have no problem with any of that stuff. My biggest thing is this. I don't want someone to come and say I'm an American. And people forget that. We are so divided. It's either you're liberal, you're conservative. You're a Republican, you're a Democrat, and it's black and white now. There is no gray. Well, guess what, people? America was formed in the gray. Right. It was an idea of gray, because the British Empire was black and white. You had to be a member of the Church of England if you were going to practice religion in England. And if you didn't, you're killed. So America was founded on gray. And I finally had enough of it. And I was like, I'm just so sick and tired of people forgetting we're all Americans. So I don't want to get too hard into it, because I'm getting fired up again about it. But I don't know. It pisses me off to know that there are people out there, and the whole rest of the world is sitting back right now laughing at us. They're absolutely laughing at us, saying this is supposed to be the greatest country in the world, and there are literally riots every day everywhere in America. They hate each other. They can't stand their own selves. So why should we listen to what you have to say when you start talking about the beacon of hope and being the dream? Guys, we're not a democracy, and that's the thing. We are not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. So the democracy of the highest vote wins isn't always the case. Okay, we're based on a constitution, and the constitution says that we were founded by forefathers that gave every person the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Can't we just freaking be happy? We live in the greatest country in the world, and everything is at cutthroat. I'm tired of it. I wish the people that, and if you want to call it that, that's fine. If you want to downgrade them, that's fine. If you want to call him, please call him President Trump. I cannot stand Jimmy Fallon, all these guys saying Trump this and Trump that. First of all, it's President Trump. You may not like him, but it's not Trump anymore. It's President Trump.
Well,
understand that.
I'm guilty of saying Trump, but
I say Trump in a derogatory way.
In my defense, I said Obama, I said Bush, I said Clinton, I said Reagan.
Right. So, well, I think what they're doing, though, is they're doing it on purpose in a derogatory way. If we're just kind of talking, hey, did you see what Trump did today? Did you see what that, but if you're going to make a political joke and call out something on our president, at least have the common decency in the class to say, President Trump is if you want to call him President Trump is an arrogant, screaming, orange-headed with fake hair buffoon, do it, but call him President Trump because he is the president, guys. Whether you like it or not, he won. It is what it is. Sorry, no, I'm off. I'm done with the rant.
I've got two things. The second will take us down a rabbit hole, so I'll hold off.
Absolutely, let's go with it.
But being out there, he says, and this kind of, I want to mention what Ben has said out there because that goes into the first thing I want to say. He says, at this point, the anti-Trump crowd are a bunch of rabid, vulgar, unhinged, out of control, sore losers. Who don't have anything better to do, just want to ruin everyone's lives. Okay, with that said, I have seen with pretty much every president for the past 3 decades anyway. I've seen the same thing with the opposite side. There's going to be a percentage and factions that are, on the opposite side of that spectrum from wherever that our current president falls. That's going to do stuff like that. There were people hanging Obama things in trees in effigy and saying, the whole birther thing and all of that. Bush was a retard, right?
Right.
And they compared him to a monkey, and he only got it because of his daddy. Clinton, the whole womanizer thing, true or false? But I mean, they just beat that and beat that and beat that. Well, does anybody remember Kennedy? You know what I mean?
Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing about Clinton. Clinton was in the actual Oval Office. The man was impeached. I mean,
yeah, but only because he got caught. Are you telling me Kennedy didn't have women?
No, they all did.
There's all kind of secret tunnels and everything else that in that
it's been going on forever.
So whatever.
Hey, Bullseye's out there. What's up, Bullseye? Long time no see. How's Jamaica, man?
So my point is that both sides, the extreme of both sides, do it. So maybe we'll see that, because they're seeing it being done to Trump. Maybe now with the next Obama or whoever gets in, maybe they'll be less prone to do it because they see now that it happens on both sides. So it's going to take both sides learning a lesson.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Vanessa's out there and said being retired Air Force implies that he's her commander-in-chief regardless of if he voted. Exactly. I was in the Marines in the 90s when Clinton was there, and there's a lot of people that didn't vote for Clinton, and it's what it is. That's our commander-in-chief. And like I said, to me, it really makes no difference. If you're just talking loosely about Trump and all that, that's one thing. When I was talking about calling him President Trump is if you're like Jimmy Fallon and you're on a stage and your monologue is there to degrade Donald Trump, I get that. That's your version of comedy, and you're trying to make your political statement through comedy. That's fine. If you're going to degrade someone that publicly with millions and millions of people, at least have the common courtesy to call him President Trump. That's just me. It's one of those things where, but I think they call him Trump and they call him different names, the Donald and all that, just to make their point. But what they don't understand is that's dividing the country even more. regardless of what you feel about our president. He is our president, and at least for a couple more years. And regardless of what you think of him, and I like some of the stuff he's done. I can't stand some of the stuff he's done.
Oh,
it fires me up, you know.
The way he talks when he's with NATO, I love it.
Oh my gosh,
I love it. It's amazing.
I'm not calling someone out, but it's true though. How much money do we have to spend? We're basically funding NATO, and the NATO forces out there don't do anything. So the U.S. is funding most of NATO, but yet it's still our troops being sent. So, you know, yeah, I love how he talks on NATO. That's great. He calls it like he sees it.
60-something% we fund, I think, total.
Something like that. I mean, I know that we fund like the majority of NATO.
Total budget, as far as infrastructure, you know, everything. Not just money we put in, but everything. Like 67% or something. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a president that's willing to stand up and look, you
know. Yeah, there's some funny stuff going on there in the chat right now. We got some people fired up about Trump, so yeah.
Well, it is one of those topics.
And Bullseye said it's based on the gross domestic product. I get that, and the GDP is something that we probably have the highest, if not one of them in the world. I get that. But it's also, when you're talking about sending forces to what is basically the European reign is what it is. It's kind of there. It was basically to stop Russia or Germany to ever kind of taking over like they did back in World War II. But if we're going to be sending troops under the NATO flag, then it shouldn't be 80% Americans. And oh, by the way, you're also going to fund it. Like you said, 2/3 of it's going to be funded by your country, and 80% of the troops that are going over are going to be, you know, provided by you. Is this, why don't we just go under the American flag and say, fuck NATO? You know, that's really what we should do at this point, you know?
Well, and then you get to where the world police at that point.
And which we are. We all know that. I mean, now, on the flip side is we've positioned ourselves to be the world's police. We kind of have wanted to be the world's police. So maybe it's one of those things where we get what we ask for. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we just own the fact that we're the world police and say, screw NATO. We're going to do it ourselves. Bye.
I guess so.
We're doing it anyway. But on the whole 67%, I mean, I get you. I get that it's based on GDP. The problem is these other countries are still not owning up to their percentage based on their GDP. That's number one.
That's right.
That is monetary contribution. That has nothing to do with the infrastructure, the tanks, the planes, the training, the officers, the soldiers, the communications, the you know, all of this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when you factor all of that in, I mean, not only are we paying more because of our GDP, but we've got more skin in the game because of that, because of our tech and our industry and all of that good stuff. Our modernized warfare toys, or whatever you want to call them.
Mm-hmm. Well, sorry. Warsaw and Ben out there having a discussion, and Warsaw's talking about Putin and Russia invading the Ukraine and taking over parts of their country. Mm-hmm. And no one kind of really did much about it. And but Ben's out there saying, you know, he said he loves it when Russia does it, it's a big scene, and when we do it, it's different. You know, it's a big scene, Ben. When we went into Iraq, it's a major scene. So, you know, we're talking superpowers. I don't even know if we want to talk superpowers anymore because there's really only a couple left, maybe only 2 or 3. But you're talking Russia, U.S., China. When you're talking about these countries stepping foot onto foreign soil and you can say what you want to about us and being in Iraq. We are protecting our oil. We are protecting our investments and all that. No, we were there trying to make Iraq a democracy. We are taking out a vicious dictator, taking him out and trying to implement the Western civilization into Iraq. I have absolutely no problem taking out Saddam Hussein. No problem whatsoever. That guy should have been strung up years ago. But understand this, guys. You cannot put Western civilization into a country that for thousands of years have been living basically under dictatorship rule. They're also living under a different mentality and a different religion and a different aspect of what they want out of life. So trying to make Iraq and Afghanistan and all of these countries, Syria and all of these countries over there, trying to get them to be Western, it's never going to happen. Like, again, they've been doing the same thing for thousands of years. So, yes, it is a big deal because when we go into Iraq, the world knew we were in Iraq. The world knew when Russia went into Ukraine. It's just like the world knew when Hitler went in and took over Poland. Okay, it is what it is. But the difference is now we have 24-hour news cycles. So everyone knows everything. I think the point we're trying to make is it doesn't matter who's attacking who or who's invading who. It's saying if we're going to have these treaties and we're going to have NATOs of the world, we're going to have the UNs of the world, we're going to have all of these organizations that are supposed to help the world be a more peaceful place. It can't be one or two countries footing the bill and providing all of the infrastructure. It's got to be a world thing. We all know it's not going to work. Clover, we all know that nothing's going to change with NATO. The only way something changes is if we pull out of NATO, which has been threatened by President Trump. NATO goes away. Let's just be real about it. NATO, it's gone if we pull out, you know?
Yep. I agree. I don't know. I mean, I think we went down a similar rabbit hole before. As a matter of fact, I know we did. We went down this rabbit hole, I think, on the 4th of July show. But, I kick it back to since Korea, probably. Maybe even before then to an extent, but definitely post World War II. We don't do anything to just go kick butt, win, and then say, okay, lick your wounds, Jack. It's all this nation building. We're going to go in and remove this leader and then, we're going to, help build an election process. And we're going to, and what ultimately happens is a power vacuum is created somewhere. And that's going to happen throughout the Middle East. The only way I see to ever truly make any progress in the Middle East, we lost a grand opportunity back under Obama when the Iranians took to the streets. Right. That was primed for clandestine spy versus spy. Take out some leaders secretly. You know what I'm saying? Operations. Quietly, possibly arm some of the, some of those that whatever you want to call them, resistance fighters or whatever it was. But you had a sentiment where they literally millions of Iranians. Why would you harness that? There's several countries over there in the Middle East that, as far as the people are concerned, the vast majority of the people, and understand this. Understand if you're watching mainstream news and you're not talking to people that these countries, it's different. But the vast majority of the people over there in most of those countries, Afghanistan is definitely an exception. They want a more modern Western way of life. They want internet and cell phones and
sure they do.
Facebook and their Twitter. They're no different than you and I, in that regard, as far as wanting tech and the coolest, newest things and all of that stuff.
Right.
So, how do you use that to the advantage to affect change? Right. I get that most of the stuff is like theocracies over there and it's religious rule and stuff like that. But that can change. That can be changed. And especially if you have a populace, that is not ideological. Like, it wouldn't be ideological, it would be theological. But it's not theological. Like,
it could be both. It could be both. Yeah.
You could potentially use that to your advantage. Find some prominent younger person. And if you're going to try to fill a power vacuum, fill it with them instead of, the next greatest dictator.
Right. Well, you're talking about they want their Facebook, they want their Instagrams, they want their internet, they want this, that, and the other. And let's just take North Korea, for example. You've got a dictator that the people in North Korea, to a certain extent, do have internet. They do have this, that, and the other, but it is censored and it is cut down to the only things that they want people to see. You're talking propaganda at this time, and I think that's one of the reasons why they desperately want maybe the Western world, is because they don't see a lot of the Western world on what they're able to get in some of these countries, because they're not allowed to see it. And so they see this big nirvana, this big utopia of what the Western world must be. And because they're told by their government officials that they're evil, they're the devil and all that, but they hear these stories of these grand cities, New York City and Las Vegas and all this stuff. So they want to see it, but the leaders, they want to suppress that information because they don't want the people to know that there's a better way out there. Now, whether it's a better way for everyone, I'm not here to say that our way is the best way, but any change to a lot of these peoples and these regimes is scary because they've had their thumb on top of their people for literally thousands of years. You know, there are some families that have been ruling countries for thousands of years, and they don't want to lose that control. So they want to keep everything suppressed to where they keep the people right where they want them. And I don't remember who it was, but they said, it was a famous quote that says, "A little revolution every now and then is the best medicine." Not saying that in America, but there are some, if you want something, sometimes you have to do it as a revolution. Don't wait for outside forces to come and help you do your thing. Figure out, you know, what, who was it? When the Cuban Revolution in the early 60s, late 50s, early 60s, you know, yeah, that was revolution, but that was funded by the Russian government. So once again, that really doesn't count. You're talking about true revolutions in the world. Venezuela tried to have one, and they couldn't do it on their own, so they had to go get outside help. So what the hell are we talking about anyways? Why are we going down this rabbit hole? But propaganda, for me, it is propaganda. Propaganda is the thing, and I don't think a lot of people want technology and all that in these countries because it comes down to power, and not necessarily money. I think it's just power. Power and money rule everything, and these countries that have been ruled by these dictators and families forever, they don't want change because they lose their power. So I think you're right, though. I think the people would love a change. They would love to be more westernized and brought to the technology age. But the people that are in power, man, they don't want any change at all because that just loosens their grip on their country. Looks like I'm getting some people out here that might be chewing me out or something. So I'm seeing some tags. Bikes and Bullets, what's up, brother? Says that propaganda is a soft term for psychological warfare operations. Exactly. Let's see here. Ben says he's going to torture you with this one, but would you rather live in Saudi Arabia or North Korea? That's an interesting question. Okay, and still says Ben Franklin about revolution. Okay, I knew it was one of them. I didn't want to misquote a forefather. I feel terrible for not knowing exactly who said that, but it was Ben Franklin. Thank you, Stealth. I appreciate it.
Probably.
Do we want to go down the rabbit hole of North Korea or Saudi Arabia?
It's just, I don't know. I can give a simple answer and say probably North Korea.
Yeah. I've been to Korea a few times.
I'm not that NBA fan, but you know, North Korea. The whole, Middle East, whatever, Arabic nations and all of that. I think I could handle Asian nations better than that. That's what I'm going on. I mean, obviously I wouldn't want either one, but as far as culture and other things that go on, I think I could handle the Arabic stuff. Pretty brutal. You talk about prisons and you talk about other things. It's pretty brutal. So North Korea is probably get shot in the back of the head, but that's better than your fingernails getting pulled out and your hand getting off. And right.
I would say that I would much rather know that if something's going to happen to me, it's going to be I can see it coming. I might not be able to do anything about it in North Korea, but I can see it coming. I will know if Kim Jong-un was going to come after me if I was living there. The problem with Saudi Arabia is it could be an 8-year-old that you're walking by giving a piece of candy to that could do it. I mean, it's a different mindset over there. I've had this discussion with people a lot of times about the Middle East and the different mentalities over there. Our morals and our ethics tell us not to shoot a woman or a child. That's just how we were raised here in America. Over there, they use women and children as shields. And I swear to God, it's disgusting. But you also will see 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds walking around with automatic rifles that are there to kill you. And if you literally sit there and freeze for taking a shot at a 10-year-old kid, you and about 6 of your buddies are dead. The difference is when they kill someone, they're willing to take out hundreds at a time. So the mentality over there in the Middle East and the Saudi Arabia and all that, it's a whole different mentality. That whole region is more tribal. It's more militant. North Korea is not necessarily that. It's just a dictator that is just damn near crazy. But at least you don't have to worry about certain things. You know what's going to happen in North Korea. You live every day in that Middle Eastern region of not being really sure what's going on. So, like you said, I don't want to choose either one of them. But if I had to choose one, I would probably choose Korea.
Yeah.
Rick's up there saying, just dropping by to say, hey, going out to eat, but much respect for you guys. And he's from East Texas. Well, thanks, Rick. I appreciate you, brother.
No worries.
Scotsman dropped in earlier. Huh?
I wonder where he's going.
I don't know. He just says he's going out to eat. And Philo says North Korea is insane. I don't think you guys have a clear picture of what goes on over there. I'm not saying that we don't. We had a choice between North Korea or Saudi Arabia. You don't have to agree with this.
Right, exactly.
I mean, hell.
Talk about picking the best of two evils or whatever, or the least of two evils.
I mean, good Lord.
It says you literally couldn't live in North Korea. You literally couldn't live in Saudi Arabia either, I don't think.
Right. Goodness gracious. That's what it is. Let's see here. Did I miss anything out there? Scotsman says he's just stopping by. Warsaw says after World War I, England and America made a big mistake dividing up the Middle East. I think there's a lot of things that happened after both wars with dividing up the world as a game board, almost like what was that? What's a big war game? Risk. Yeah. That's really what it was, is we're dividing up the world like a game. And once again, it's all about power. It's all about your status in the world and becoming a superpower. After World War I, World War II, we were trying to become a superpower, and we wanted to make sure that everyone knew who we were. So, yeah, there's a lot of mistakes that everyone made, not just England and America, but, what happened in World War I affected Germany and Russia. People forget during World War II, Russia was an ally of ours. People forget that. They were on our side. But what happens after World War II, you start talking about breaking up in land and all that, things happen. Stalin goes batshit crazy, Well, so
when you say ally,
always batshit.
When you say ally, it's more of the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
I understand, but he was fighting alongside with us,
right?
Let's see here.
Yeah, and it would have been a much different war had they not been. And I'm not saying something as drastic as they were against us, but it would have been a much different war if they were simply not involved. They played a huge role.
Now Warsaw makes a statement. Now I've actually Clover both are both on the record on several occasions saying, he says that the Soviets were much worse than the Nazis. Pards, Stalin is probably, as far as numbers, the most evil person that's ever walked the face of the earth. I don't think anyone would argue that Stalin was absolutely freaking evil. So, you're right. And I'm not trying to compare evils here, guys. Evil's evil, whether it's Hitler or it's Stalin. You can say Mussolini was as brutal as anybody, maybe not the numbers wise, but as brutal as anybody at one point. But yeah, Stalin, there's no doubt. Stalin, we're talking millions and millions, hundreds of millions. There's probably no way of knowing. It could be billion. We don't know how many people over the lifetime of Stalin's regime were just killed. So I'm not trying to argue, and I'm not trying to say that Hitler is a worse person than Stalin. They're both evil. Evil's evil, But you're right. They were terrible. They were much more brutal. Ozzy said he just got home from the range, put 200 more rounds through this P365, up to 700, still flawless. That's awesome because there have been a lot of things going around about the P365 that were not pleasant, but it's nice that you've put 700 through right now and still no misfires or malfunctions. So that sounds like maybe you're losing good ammo, but maybe they fixed whatever the hell was wrong with them.
Or he got one made on a Tuesday.
Yeah. Let's see here. Right. Warsaw says, like during World War II and Katyn massacre killed millions of Polish officers and Catholic priests and blamed it on the Germans. Yeah, I'm not trying. I don't know. I might start an argument that I realize. I mean, I don't realize it, but if I start an argument, I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to sit there and say one person's less evil than the other. I've come across that. I apologize.
This is a testament to how bad media is and why you probably should watch foreign media more than you watch U.S. media.
Yeah.
But you talk about genocides and these atrocities and all this other stuff. That crap's going on in Africa right now as we speak.
It has been for a long time.
Every day of the week. And do you hear it on the nightly news? Does anybody say anything? Do we send people to Africa? I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. We don't have to go down that rabbit hole, but I'm just throwing that out there.
I've been there. I've been there under bad terms. And East Africa is as bad as it gets. We're talking about tribalism. There is no centralized government in some of these countries. It is literally sectional tribes that own the water, that own the food, that own everything. And they keep their people hostage by providing them food and water. So as bad as Saudi Arabia is with the religious side of things, like you said, everywhere's got issues, man. And East Africa, it's as bad as there is when it comes to living conditions without an infrastructure of government and electricity and water and all of that. Man, it's bad. So everyone's got their issues. Some people are more desperate than others. But no, it's just one of those things where it is the beacon of freedom in the American way. I don't know. I mean, there's not a whole hell of a lot we can do with some of these. I mean, there's really not. We're not going to go into Somalia. We're not going to go into Afghanistan. We're not going into Syria. We're not going into these different places and changing their lives overnight. Even if we go in there to try to help implement a nice regime, we're talking trillions of dollars to set up an infrastructure of running water, of electricity, of food for everybody. Some of these countries, that's how it is. They don't know what electricity is. They don't know what a TV or internet is because they don't see electricity. They don't get that. So it's very, very weird about it. But let's see here. Warsaw says that Stalin wasn't from Russia. He was from Georgia. Okay, my bad. I guess I got to do a read up on my Russian history tonight. Let's see here.
He was Southern? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, from Atlanta? Wow, I didn't know that. He's a redneck. I didn't know Stalin was a redneck.
Old Joe. Redneck Joe.
Redneck Joseph. Leonidas of Spartan, what's going on? He won the We the People holster from last Tuesday night, and they did have it in your Glock, and as soon as it ships out, I will give you the tracking number and all of that. Let's see here. Am I missing anything? JJ, Mouse Tongue. Oh yeah, I mean there's Georgia Trucker. What's the HBO Matt's out there? Yeah, we know that Georgia is a country in Europe. We were just joking.
Right.
Yeah. We're just trying to make a light joke of a situation. So we understand that Georgia is not, in the U.S. I might eat crayons at night for dinner, but I ain't that dumb. Well, maybe I am. I don't know. Let's see here. HBO Max has had to buy him a case of ammo to convince him to switch to 308. What are we talking about?
His dad. He said somebody got his dad a 6.5 Creedmoor.
Oh, okay, okay.
I have a case of ammo to get him to switch from this. A case of 6.5 Creedmoor? Seriously?
How much were you wanting to spend, man?
Wow.
Wow. Well, I hope he. I mean, if you're going to spend that kind of money on that, I hope he switched from 308 to 6.5.
No joke. Wow.
So, yeah, it is what it is.
Right.
Let's see here. I'm not missing anything. All right. So, what you got going on this week? It's been going on for about an hour, 15 minutes. We went down some rabbit holes. Honestly, I don't mind going down rabbit holes, but these were rabbit holes that I never saw coming today. So, which is fine. I like it.
Yeah.
But you got anything going on this week that you want to talk about?
Do I?
I don't know. Who you got coming on Wednesday?
Wednesday is a young lady from Virginia, Mia Farinelli, her name. So we'll have her on, and hopefully it doesn't fall through, and talk to her a little bit. And pretty cool. She not only does competition stuff, but she's also been to DC and Virginia Capitol and all of that on, some Second Amendment type stuff. So that's pretty interesting. So yeah, that's who'll be around on Wednesday, hopefully.
Nice. Now it sounds like your wife out there says that you have learned a new card trick. Is that right?
I've been playing around. Yeah, I've been playing around because I don't know. I got, suggested videos. God, I hate suggested videos sometimes. This is a good rabbit hole to go down because this is fun.
All right, let's do it.
Get off the serious stuff for a little while. Right. But anyway, suggested video, and I don't know where it come up, but Penn and Teller. I mean, everybody knows Penn and Teller, surely.
Oh, yeah,
If you don't, crawl out from under the rock.
They've got a great show. Can you fool Penn and Teller, which is really cool.
That's what I was fixing to say.
Oh, okay. My bad.
It was a thing. It was a clip from the Fooled Us or Fooled whatever it's called, FU or something. What it's called. I don't know. Anyway, and so I clicked on it, and it's magician stuff. I mean, that's all cool. I mean, I know it's all sleight of hand devices and other things.
What it is, yeah,
for the most part. But it's interesting. It's like, crap. How did they do that? And I mean, it takes some skill, to palm and move stuff around, and some of the sleight of hand that people use, right? So anyway, I was watching that, and so I kind of got on a kick there to where, obviously, if you click on one freaking thing and suggest it, what's it going to do? It's going to suggest more of that crap, right? So anyway, I ended up watching several, and I got to looking at some different card tricks and stuff like that, and I thought, you know what, I want to play around with some of that. That's kind of cool. And so anyway, got a deck of cards. I actually watched several things and thought about it. I didn't have a deck of cards here, unfortunately, but picked up a deck of cards yesterday. And, a lot of that has to do with remembering certain patterns and remembering certain, it's what they call, what they call it. I don't even see. My mind went blank. That's how stupid I am. But that's why I don't know that I'll ever be good at it. But anyway,
well, you're very smart.
You've got certain cards in a deck when you like when you shuffle, for example, and stuff like that. You see certain cards in the deck.
Right.
They're like identifier cards, and then so the certain card a person chose is this many away from another one or whatever. So anyway, just been playing around with some of that stuff, and there it really is. I mean, sleight of hand and all that aside, we're just talking about basic card tricks, right? There's a lot of memorization and there's a lot of counting involved. You got to turn like letters into numbers and weird things like that. I suggest, get out there, buy a deck of cards, watch some stuff, play with it a little bit. You'll understand what I'm talking about. But I was thinking, if I can learn some of these card tricks and stuff, especially for like GunChannels meetups and stuff, it'd be kind of cool to, we had, all the GunChannel people around to kind of,
we can use the G's new deck cards.
Yeah, heck yeah. Use the the gun inventor cards, or maybe even the whatever, and just do some little gun channel card tricks or something. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool.
But yeah, I'm nowhere near uh, uh, near good enough to appear on any type of.
You're not going to go try to fool Penn and Teller. Is what you're saying?
I'm not good enough to even do it on a cardboard box on the street corner. What are you talking about?
I have seen a couple of these videos online on YouTube on the Fool Us or whatever it is with Penn and Teller, and there's some people out there that are really, really amazing. There was a Japanese guy that did like like 4 quarters and a cards. It was a trick. And I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm slowing it down. I'm pausing it. I'm literally trying to see the sleight of hand movements as it happens. And I mean, this guy was unbelievable. And even Penn and Teller, they were both just like, I gave up a long time ago. It's too good. So there are people that are extremely talented at that. And
well, it
I
takes
can never do that stuff.
And if you watch them, especially on that show, like ask them, when did you start this? And a lot of them, they were like 6 or 7 years old or something.
Exactly.
Like, how much practice? And they're like, hours a day. They practice and this because, like I said, a lot of it, especially when you're dealing with cards, a lot of it has to do with patterns and things like that. And that's things that you just got to train your brain to pick up on.
Yeah.
It's not anything that you can think about because people are going to be able to tell you're thinking about it. It's kind of like counting cards at a blackjack table or something. They're gonna be able to tell you're counting cards if you're not really, really good at it. They're gonna see eye movement and other stuff. But yeah, there's several that are amazing. And what's cool about a lot of that is a guy will come on and it'll be somebody that's wrote a book, right, about magic tricks or something. And they're like, oh yeah, we're big fans of yours. We've read your book. And you're like, well, hell, how's he gonna fool them if they read his book and they learned his tricks, and then inevitably, they're sitting there and they're like, well, we figured that you did this and this and that, and that's how you did it. And he's like, no, didn't do it that way. And they're like, what? And he, what I'm saying, the guy that they learned from, he changed something up in his routine. He did something totally different, and it just blows their mind that, that he did something different. They thought that they had him, had him pegged. But yeah, the ones where they actually fool Penn and Teller, those are the best ones.
Those are the cool ones. For me, it's pretty cool because, I've never been a huge Penn and Teller fan. I just never really watched a whole lot. I'm not a big magic guy. I like it. It's kind of fun, but I'm not. I don't follow them. I don't watch their specials on HBO or TV and all that. But everyone knows who Penn and Teller is, obviously. And these guys have, for 30 plus years, kind of been as high as the standard is set for illusionists, because there's a difference between magic and illusionists, and they all have their different things, David Copperfield and all that. But the sleight of hand techniques and all that, Penn and Teller have been legendary. So if you're a sleight of hand guy, you've got a coin or a card trick, and you go to Penn and Teller, you better bring it because these guys are literally, the cream of the creme. And so if these guys can fool them, and you have Penn and Teller saying, I quit trying 3 minutes into this thing because I gave up. That you're pretty good. And so yeah, it's kind of fun. And some of the times they'll sit there and say, yeah, you're doing this. They won't actually give the secrets away.
And they talk in code, which is weird.
Exactly. Yeah.
I guess that's how magicians communicate with each other to help learn each other's tricks without everybody knowing.
Yeah.
I guess they have a code language, apparently. I don't know. It would be interesting to see if there was any books on that and maybe learn the code language. That could be interesting. But yeah, Penn and Teller, very libertarian, by the way.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I knew that. Which one is it? Penn's a tall one, right? Is Teller the quiet one?
Yeah, he's the little. Yeah.
Okay. I know Penn is very, very pro gun. At one point, at least he was at one point in his life. I don't know if he still is, but I know at one point he was. But I don't know about Teller. Not sure, but yeah. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Kind of seeing those videos. I just saw. Did I see? Yeah, I saw Russ Carr. What's up there, Russ? He said, "Perfect. Now he truly is a walking stereotype of magical leprechaun."
Yeah, working on it, man. Working on it.
You gotta live up to the title, you know.
Now, Ozark out there was talking about the academy manager or whatever that was fired, having to sell his house. Have you followed that story? Because I haven't.
I have not. Honestly, I've been so busy. I haven't seen a whole lot of stuff going on out there. I have not heard about an academy manager. I'm not gonna lie to you. What happened? You know?
It was something about somebody stole something, didn't he? And then he cornered them or something, and then they sued him, or I don't know.
He got fired or something. So he's having to sell his house.
I quit trying to even speculate because I don't remember. But
okay.
So yeah, but something happened. Something happened. I think in academy had to do with shoplifting or something, and then the manager ended up getting fired over it.
Okay, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that, so I
need to go do homework on that. So.
I mean, I just gotta. I'm not gonna make excuses because I've got it better than a lot of people, but you know I do work 7 days a week,
right.
And I try to do this stuff. So a lot of time is if I'm not doing this or eating dinner with the family, I'm usually sleeping. So,
right.
Yeah, I don't know. I had to go. Yeah, I got to catch up on current events. And one of the reasons also is in this going back to the rant is I quit watching the news. No matter what channel it is, you know, even the conservative leaning channels are frustrating to watch. So, I know that doesn't sound good, but I've given up on media right now because there's nothing out there that's going to be worth anything. I mean, there's really not. You don't know who to listen.
If you want a healthy perspective, okay, and I'm gonna throw this out there to everybody that's listening live, that's listening in replay. If you've made it this far, I've got an experiment. I'm gonna say go try this, okay? Because I've done it.
All right, I'll try it. Let's do this.
Well, I used to listen to talk radio anytime I was in the vehicle.
Okay. I'm the same way.
You know, stayed on the freaking PA thing at work. You know, whatever. It was talk radio, then it was Fox News. I had to watch Hannity. I had to watch O'Reilly. I had to watch Glenn Beck. I had whatever. I even followed Beck on CNN.
Limbaugh and all them, yeah.
You know, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Limbaugh during the day, Michael Savage, this, that, and the other, right? So, finally, I was just so worked up over everything. And this happened, I think it was after Sandy Hook, and something was going down, and they were talking about all of this gun stuff, and this was going to happen, and they were going to vote for this and vote for that, and I think midterms had just happened or something, and Obama, pretty sure Obama was president then. Yeah, he was. It was the second term, probably midterms of the second term, maybe when I did this, but for like a year. I turned off the talk radio. I turned off the news. In fact, we canceled satellite altogether. And I got some news through the internet, right? And I'm not talking about Facebook or crap like that, but clips from, you know, you can pick up clips in YouTube and stuff like that. And you can be real selective and just watch things that are you're interested in or whatever. And you can get multiple views on that really quick, right? But you're not plugged in like 24/7, 375.
Right.
And it really changed my perspective on things because we get so wound up because we're just plugged in all the time, or you can be plugged in all the time. You get so wound up that you don't realize. And I think the majority of people out there are ignorant, and ignorance is bliss, and they live wonderful, healthy lives. And then some of us, we plug in and we stay plugged in 24/65. And we worry about things way too freaking much. And I think if you unplug, because it did with me, I think if you unplug, it'll give you a little healthier perspective about when things are more imminent and when it's just bluster.
Well, and that's what I said is I have basically stopped watching the news. And I'll kind of go into what I've been doing. This will kind of give you an idea. But like you said, if it's something that's big, I'll hear it from other people that I work around and work with, and I'll hear about it. So if it's big, I'll go turn on Fox or CNN or whatever the local news is and learn about it. But like you said, I don't hear about it. If I'm not watching the news, I'm not keeping up with current events, I won't hear about it unless it's a major story. You know, obviously I've heard about the 12 kids in Thailand. So obviously that's a world story. You hear about the flooding in Japan because my wife's from Japan. So you hear about all of that. So you hear about the world major stories, but I'm not hearing about the academy manager chasing a Glock guy stolen a Glock. I'll tell you what I've been doing. And if I do want to kind of research a news item, and I don't know, people have been doing this for a long time, so I didn't create this. I'm not that smart. But what I try to do is if there's a story that's out there and I want to kind of find out what's going on, I will go to Fox News, read an article that they have, and I'll go to CNN and I'll read an article that CNN has. Obviously, probably going to be very, very different. Okay. So what I do is I'll read both of them, and then I'll kind of put together what probably really happened is somewhere in the middle. And I don't know if you ever do that or not, but especially if it's something like a shooting or whatever, I'll be on the TV and I'll listen to Fox and I'll listen to CNN. And I'll know that somewhere between the two, or if it's about President Trump or whatever, somewhere in the middle of those two stories is the truth. So I'll try to go, I won't go to just one source. I'll go to multiple sources, kind of gather all information, and you can kind of start piecing together. You take biases out and all of that. You can kind of start piecing together what the meat of the story is. But yeah, like you said, I don't watch the news, so if it's not major, I'm probably not hearing about it. And like you said, good or bad, there are a lot of people that live naive, the naive way, and just shelter themselves from that stuff, and they have perfectly happy, very little stress in their lives. So there's something to be said about that. I don't know. I don't know.
Warsaw out there. I mean, he was talking earlier about, Fox. I mean, it's just Fox is spot on, politically correct CNN and MSNBC. See, I don't agree with that.
They might correct them, but are they right?
And I think if you unplug from it all, like I'm suggesting, for minimum 6 months, unplug from it all and then just pick up bits and pieces and put your own story together with varying. I'm talking about a half a dozen different articles and our clips from different places, right? A half a dozen different places, and put your own together. I think you'll see it. Now, that's not to say that Fox News is not the most accurate. I do believe that they are the most accurate, but they do spin regardless. All news agencies spin. They have since the beginning of time. That's how you sell subscriptions, papers. That's how you get views. Is spinning a story and how you put that gotcha headline in there, right? So yeah, you got to be careful. Even those don't. Stone Cold Steve Austin said it best. DTA. Don't trust anybody.
I think, or maybe not. Don't trust him, but at least question everything. Question everything, question everybody.
Yeah, get the whole
story you're looking for.
Yeah, and it's a matter of getting the whole story. That's what I learned with Fox. Is Fox would leave stuff out, and it would leave stuff out that okay, yeah, that might be a point that the liberals could use or something like that. But if I'm out here in the field and I've got to argue a position or a point, I need to know that. Because I need to know what that person that's debating against me, I need to know what they're going to come with and they're going to use. And a lot of times they want to leave that out and just have more of a center to right perspective on things. They're not fair and balanced. And they were once upon a time. And I don't know, because again, I don't watch them to hear their little mid-break, commercial break little things. So I don't know if they use that slogan, fair and balanced, anymore. But there was a time when they were fair and balanced. They deviated out of that sometime, but definitely around the time that Obama took office, they started deviating from that fair and balanced. They really did, because you had, as much as I hated old Alan Combs, right? You had Hannity, right?
Hannity and Combs, yeah.
I hated that dude, man, with a passion. But he was an offset to Hannity, because Hannity was like hardcore right, and then Combs was hardcore left. If Hannity was like middle right or something, maybe it would have been different. But Hannity's hard right. So you need that hard left to offset that. You know, he left, and now it's, you know, it's just Hannity's show. Well, Hannity's hard right, so how's that fair and balanced?
It's not. Let me ask you a question. Okay, let's talk about the differences. All right, and there's some talk out there about Fox correcting CNN and MSNBC, and then you brought up a point. So I want to ask you a question. You've got CNN, let's say, CNN that will put whatever they want on camera. They will say what they want, whether it is accurate or not. They'll worry about fact checking later. They're just trying to get the story out there. That's their MO and has been since Turner started in the 70s. Let's get the story. We'll fix it later if we have to. So they're putting out information that is factually incorrect on a consistent basis. Okay, so you've got that over here. On this side, we'll call this the wax on. We're going to call this the wax off side. The wax off side is Fox. And like you said, may not put factually incorrect information out there, but will intentionally leave out information that could be harmful. Okay.
Or skewed.
Or skewed. They'll just leave it out. Which one is more dangerous? The one that's just factually incorrect, or the channel that's not giving you all the information? I know what I believe, but I'd like to hear what you think about that.
I think probably at the end of the day, probably the one that's intentionally misleading, and that's why I said Fox. I think Fox is the better of them, but I don't put Fox on any type of pedestal.
No. I understand, and that's kind of where I was going to go. Is if you don't have all the facts, or if they could be detrimental to your cause, and you leave them out, that's one thing. But when you're blatantly putting, knowingly, and let's not be real, they know they're putting false information out there. They know, CNN knows they're putting information that's not accurate. They understand that. Their whole MO is get the story out there. And at 2 o'clock this morning, when nobody's watching, we'll put out a statement saying, you know, we might have been factually incorrect about some of the stuff that happened in prime time last night. We really apologize. We hope you see this. Right. That's what's more dangerous, because the people that are learning the information for the first time and they're getting told the wrong thing, and they base their opinion and their stance on what they're hearing from you, and it's based off of wrong and just complete lies. That is very, very dangerous. I'm not saying that I'm glad that Fox does hold back some stuff. I'm not saying that. But if I had to choose of the two, I'd rather you say nothing than lies. That's just me.
Right.
They said the wax on, wax off news networks. There you go.
Warsaw's still out there ragging on CNN, dude. I'm telling you, if the feel that I'm getting right now from Warsaw's comments, dude, unplug from the Matrix for a little while.
Yeah.
Because I get you. I understand how CNN can be.
Oh, the frustration's real, bro.
The problem is, and this happens with a lot of people. I was this way too. You're hyper focused on that 24/7, 365 news cycle, and the world is just going down the tubes. And there's millions and millions and millions of people that live their life every day of the week, nice, good, healthy, fun lives, and you know they don't get stressed out by something stupid that CNN said. So I mean, if it really stresses you out, you know, anything on there, then yeah. Warsaw says,
yeah, I get that. He's talking about his parents. I mean, I understand that.
No, that's true. Yeah, if your parents have to make them listen to it with headphones on or something.
I get that, and
get some of them TV ears they advertise or something. So here,
yeah, I don't know what to tell you about that one. I mean, you know, go get yourself a laptop and just watch YouTube all day. I don't know.
Walk around with earbuds in, listening to some Led Zeppelin or something.
Yeah. Little Beach Boys, you know, you just mix it up a little bit. Let's get some Beatles one day and throw in a little Cream, and then throw in, you know, some Iron Maiden. I mean, you know, just change your whole, you know, what we're trying to say is change your whole rhythm up, change your rotation up. Make sure that you're not just doing the same thing over and over again, because I'm not saying this, and don't take this in a detrimental way, but what I'm saying to you is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. Yeah. So if every day you're doing the same thing over and over, and you're continuously frustrated and mad and angry, then don't continue to do the same thing. Change it up a little bit.
Well,
find a new hobby or something. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
My wife out there.
Play Xbox. There you go.
My wife out there earlier in the chat when we were talking about this, she actually confirmed. It says right here, said it was ridiculous how much Clover was into the news and talk radio. So I mean, she confirms how bad I was. I mean, I was on that level, and I'm telling you, I quit cold turkey, and all good. So, earbuds, pick up some YouTube channels and podcasts, and music, and
there's so many good things on YouTube.
Don't ignore news, right?
Oh no,
but don't
live and die by it either.
Yeah, but don't worry about the little things, and a lot of this stuff. And the reason that I say that is the vast majority of this crap that you hear day in and day out, it seems like such a big deal because you hear about it all the time, day in and day out. And once you unplug, you're going to realize that why the crap are they talking about that for every day, 24 hours for 6 days straight over this stupid thing? Or how long it was the Trump and Russian thing? I mean, please, it's run its course. Move on, please, from that. I don't want to hear that no more.
No doubt. I mean, it was one of those where your friends, unless your friends are the ones that are like to have the current topics of the day discussions and all of that, saying, "Hey, Bill, did you hear what they're saying about the stock market on MSNBC today?" Well, no, Frank, I sure didn't. Catch me up. My friends, I'd punch them right in the freaking nose if they started our conversations about, "Hey, did you watch Fox News today?" No, what I'm saying is stay current, get an idea of what's going on in the world. But like I said, if I don't hear about it, because I'm not watching news right now, if I don't hear about it, then it must not be anything that's going to affect my life. So why let it affect my life? It's try to enjoy life as much as you can. Find 2 or 3 different hobbies that allows you to laugh. There was a movie, and I don't, for the life of me, don't remember what it was, but it was a great saying, and it says, if you're able to laugh and cry every day of your life, that's a full life. You should be able to laugh and cry every day. And if you're not laughing because you're so angry at other things in your life, then find something, change something, because the last thing we need is angry people out there. And because anger feeds and it spreads, and now everyone's angry. I'm not saying be the hippie and peace, love, happiness, but what I'm saying is if you're not happy, man, I love my life. Is it stressful? Yeah. Am I busy? Yeah. Do I get to spend as much time on certain things in my life right now that I want to? No. But life is good. Life is good because I make what I have into whatever the best I can make it into. I love hanging out with these guys and you and Clover and all my buddies out here on YouTube. I might not be able to make as many videos as I can, 2 months ago right now because of work, but I make what I do the best that I can. So find something that you enjoy. It's Xbox or music. Like Ben says, he likes to play music and drums, and unfortunately he doesn't have a drum set, so that sucks. But go get some drumsticks at the music store and just pound pillows, man. Anything, so find anything that you do that you like. Shooting, even if you can't afford to go shooting every day because ammo prices might be high in your area, you can dry fire. You can sit in your room and work on your draw and get some nice dry fire stuff. Go get a laser attachment and work on some laser stuff. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do, but find something that makes you happy, and don't, I'm not, like in Clover saying the same thing. We're not saying don't shut yourself off completely and don't care what's happening in the world, but there's something to that. There's something to ignorance is bliss. So I don't know.
Realize there's things you can change and there's things that you can't.
That's right.
If Congress passed some stupid freaking bill, it's done. Unless you're a billionaire with all kinds of lawyers on the payroll to start up a campaign, you're pretty much done. That's passed. So, You know, all you can do is get the word out, fight the good fight prior to something like that happening. But people just harp on things over and over and over. And people also don't look at things realistically. My wife out there said something about I'm a realist. I really am. You know, it's like this gun legislation and a lot of other things. Post Sandy Hook, did we get any gun legislation, you know, nationally? No. But that was this big, huge thing about, you know, and I'm like, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. And we didn't get it, right? And other
That's right.
people were worked up and panicking. And
Oh man, we're talking about craziness. Yeah.
and you know, I was like, it's not going to happen. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers in Congress. Look at it's not happening. Now on the state level, yeah, I get you. I mean, there needs to be a little more concern there, but you know, I can understand because Warsaw was talking about it with it being Illinois, and then there in his county or city or whatever. I get you. I mean, you know, I say that all the time. We do need to be somewhat involved. The more local your politics gets,
that's where it gets changed.
The more you need to be involved. I do agree with that, but that's not national news. That's not Fox News. That's not CNN. That's not those places. That's your local news channels and stuff like that. So again, unplugging from those big boys, it doesn't really affect that.
Trying to see if I miss anything. Einstein out there says
Warsaw, and I would have to read. I would love to read some of the context of some of these bills. And I encourage you, because Warsaw's talking about he's not going to follow any red flag stuff.
Flag laws, yeah.
A lot of the red flag stuff I've read has process built into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's red flag stuff is not something that many people are going to, you know, and unless I mean, you may take me wrong, and then you may hate me for my stance on it. But I've talked about it before. I've been in a situation to where, you know, I've needed to take firearms away from loved ones that I feel was a problem. Now, what happens when, you know, there's not somebody in the community or a family member or a friend or whatever to be able to do that? And they got their firearms back, you know. But, you know, I seen the potential for a problem and I intervened. Well, what happens when that's not the case? We all know that for the most part, society sucks as far as community and everybody taking care of each other and their neighbor, right? That's kind of going downhill. Everybody is more so out for me and myself, and if you know, if this don't affect me, I'm not worried about it. And how does this benefit me, and so forth and so on. Really, it's really become a rather selfish society, I think. And because of that, then I don't have a problem with processes, however you say that, being in play. You know, to do essentially what I did with that person that I needed to do with the firearms.
Right.
But and most of this red flag legislation, again, it's getting pushed out. It's got gotcha headlines. It's got quotes from senators and other crap that probably ain't even read the stinking bill. They just voted on it. And it's got quotes from them about this, that, and the other, and whatever. Get in, read the bills, figure out what the processes are, and then look at it. We debunked something the other night, Ghost. It may have been a while ago, but if you remember, I think it might have been on Modern Anti-Federalist, that we were looking at some bill it was in Kasich State, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, Ohio. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
If you was suspected, they said something about if you was suspected of criminal activity or something, they were going to take your guns away, or you couldn't buy a gun. And I went and looked the law up, and that's not it. That's not it. It was if you have been convicted of that. There was a loophole that they closed. It's what the legislation said. So people aren't understanding what the legislation say, and then even reporters, right? And they're throwing it out there, and then people are getting all upset and sucking it up. So yeah, just chill, you know, figure out exactly what the legislation says. Go read the legislation. Don't listen to somebody to tell you what it says. That's what the politicians do. And more often than not, that's where we get into trouble is, you know, they just pass bills without actually reading them.
Right. Now, Ben out there is saying that he likes to play a little game. Whenever he hears anything political, he takes a shot of vodka, and it's surprisingly good and helps him with everything out. And I sit there and say, I cannot condone that, knowing that you are under the age of 21. So I would sit there and say, young man, stop that. It will not help you. It will just take you down a road of misery.
What's the drinking age in Maryland or wherever he's at?
I just still 21, so maybe 18. Hell, I don't know. No, I want to talk about something real quick that happened that I know that you were directly affected by, and I know that it was a traumatic situation, and I hope that you and your family and the grandkids have recovered in time. But I understand that Armentia was involved in a line for the Build-A-Bear. Is the family okay?
That's a story that probably tonight on Gun Gals, by the way, Gun Gals was at 9.
Has the family recovered from that traumatic experience?
I may get told on that. I don't know. No, as far as I know, Build-A-Bear Workshop had this thing where, and I've never been to Build-A-Bear Workshop, so I mean,
I've been to a long time ago with my daughter once.
I'm assuming it's the devil. Okay, I'm just gonna assume.
It was a madhouse, yeah.
But yeah, they were running a special that it was like, pay your age or something. So apparently, you pay whatever your age is to get in.
6 years old, you get one for $6.
Apparently, something like that.
Okay, I got you.
But according to her, there was like 85 billion people in the line, and there was the people that were the most pissed off about not getting into it was the people that had like kids that was less than 1 year old in like strollers.
Yeah,
because they wouldn't have to pay anything because their kid is, you know what I mean. And I'm like, that's really stupid. They are to put an age limit because the kid have to be old enough to be able to help with building the bear.
Yeah, if you're an infant and you still can't put your head up, then I mean, come on.
If you can't, point and pick between one shirt or another or what, at least or something of that nature. I don't know. I've never built a bear, so I don't know what all's involved with that. But I think there should be some type of some type of rule where the kid actually, in that sense, has to be able to participate in the building of the bear.
I agree with that.
For that to apply.
Travis is out there. Oh, yep. Go ahead.
No, I said, and that would squash that. So,
no doubt. Now Travis is out there. Travis P11 is out there saying that he loved the Build-A-Bear, the Build-A-AR at Wanamaker. Now that was pretty awesome. I think it was what, $4.99, and you walk away. You literally went down this thing and you pick. I want this, this handguard, this stock, this blah blah blah. You go down there and you walk away, and it's what was. I think it was $4.99. Is that what it was? Something like that.
$4.99. Yeah. I think it was.
You walk away with an AR. It was pretty awesome. And they had a ton of people surrounding that booth at all times.
Yeah,
there's no telling how much money they made.
Yeah, they stayed busy for sure.
There.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Now, if they had to build an AR for your age, that'd be awesome. I'd be all over that. I would stand in that line.
I would even take it for 10 times your age.
Right.
I'd take it in a heartbeat, All
right. Now Warsaw says he builds an AK, so there you go.
Yeah. I'm an AK fan too. I've got a couple of them. So I've got AK-74 and an AK pistol, chambered in 7.62 by 39. So yeah.
Einstein says build a BAR.
Now that would get really expensive, I think. Just saying.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
But that would be fun. Especially if they let you build a BAR for your age.
Yeah. Or heck.
Well, like I said, I know that it was a traumatic experience, and I'm glad the grandkids and Armentia seems to have gotten over it, and I'm sure they're on some antidepressants.
According to her, the girls didn't care one bit. I think she said they were more.
I didn't realize what was going on.
They were more ticked off that they had to leave because they had made friends while waiting in line with some other little kids, and they were more ticked off about having to leave their little friends than they were not getting to build a bear. So, and that's what I told her in the first place. I said you should have just went to the Dollar Tree and let them get a $1 bouncy ball and a freaking $1.
They would have been just fine with it,
and they would have been tickled to death. I mean, yeah. I mean, you take them down the big, the Dollar Tree here, big candy aisle. It's a big, huge aisle. Both sides is just candy on both sides, and just cut them loose. Get what you want, And
exactly. Get them sugared up. They'll forget about the bear.
Yeah, but you got to do that right before you send them home.
That's the whole point.
You got to get them dirty and sugared up.
Timing is key. That timing is very, very. You have to master that timing, but once you do master it, beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I'm not a grandparent yet, thank God.
Troll Master General out there.
Who is Trollmaster General's out there?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him. Hello, good patriots. I haven't seen Trollmaster in a while. What's going on? Are we supposed to bow, or is there like Darth Vader music, or are we supposed to do a walk-up music or something?
Heard something kind of ominous. I was wondering what it was.
Well, it's been 2 hours, and I'm getting ready to have to jump off here in a few minutes. But
I've got burgers and links. I've got to pull off the.
There you go. There you go. Do you got anything else you want to plug this week?
Yeah, I mean, user. I think it was user up there real early on when I got all up on my rant about the whole Bales thing. He was talking about, oh, I'd really like to see, when Clover gets worked up. Well, just so you know, the Patreon private chats are a place where I do sometimes get worked up, and it's private and it never goes public. And so, yeah, that'll happen tomorrow night at 11 Eastern is that. So if you are a patron, then remember that, and once the stream starts, I'll drop the Hangout link into the chat, and everybody that wants on the panel or whatever can jump in, and we talk about stuff with the channel and just random stuff, and sometimes I get worked up. And then if you're not, I mean, hey, consider becoming a patron, and for like $1, you can get into there and and get me all upset and flustered if you want to. So
yeah,
what better way to spend $1, right?
Right. Your chats are always fun and all of that. I kind of started doing something yesterday with my Patreon. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Jarhead6. He's on YouTube. So he's a Marine, obviously. Put some really cool stuff out there. He's a buddy of mine, and I'm a Patreon of his. And he started this thing up, and it's really cool. It's through Discord. And Discord apparently was, hey, user out there says $5 going to the Homes for Our Troops this month, by the way. All super chats this month are going to Homes for Our Troops. I appreciate you. $5 from user says, the real question is, do you order a wiener sandwich or a hot dog? I order a hot dog. Hot dog.
I don't order either. Normally, I order either a chili dog or a coney.
A chili cheese dog or a Sonic coney. Yeah, you're right. Chili cheese dog. But thanks for the $5. That's going to go towards Homes for Our Troops. So I appreciate you very much. But anyways, he started his Discord thing. So I started up yesterday for my patrons, and it's basically a chat room. You can go in there whenever you want, and it's if you're a patron of mine, I put a post out there yesterday, gives you the link, and it's a private link to it's called Ghost Squad only for the patrons, and it's just a chat room over there, and I've got 2 rooms. One says Ghost Squad only, we just kind of just have simple, there's a whole, we've been talking on there, there's people that come in and out all the time, like right now me and Zippy are in there, but I've got all the guys are over there, and they'll come in and say hi and all that. And then I've also got a gun porn thing where people are kind of showing what they're carrying that day and all that. But if you're a patron of mine, go over and go check the post out over there. And it's called Discord is the app. It's that gamers use, but it's pretty fun. I enjoy it. It's a way we can have like our own private patron only lobby chat 24/7. So come check it out. It's already up and running. So go check that out. But thanks to all the patrons out there. Yeah, go ahead.
And that reminds me, I actually stole something from Sarge the other.
Oh, did you?
Hey,
I like stealing stuff, man. The best ideas are the ones you have to worry about.
I know, right? He's got that Google number or whatever where everybody can text him, and I actually signed up for that last night. So, come Monday, come tomorrow.
Okay.
Come tomorrow, MLA Monday. I'll start throwing that number out in the chat, and then people can actually text pictures or whatever, messages, pictures, whatever you want to do. That'd just be another way to get in touch. I mean, if you want to make sure I see your stuff, then you can potentially text it, and I don't miss it in the chat. So yeah.
Speaking of the texting thing, let me ask you this, because you did a little experiment. Holy shit. Trollmaster General out there says $20. Thanks goes for the good cause. Hey, thank you, brother. That means a lot. And like I said, don't feel like I'm not asking you guys to do any kind of super chats. Please don't feel like you have to at all. I'm being very serious about that. Please don't. But if you do want to do that for some reason, know that this month of July, it's going for Homes for Our Troops, and next month we'll find another veteran-based charity out there. But Mr. Trollmaster General, $20 says things goes for the good cause. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you so much, and that means a lot that you want to support some of the veterans out there. So. That's very generous. Thank you so much. I do want to send a shout out to, was it Rupan, I believe, last Tuesday. Either Patriot, was it Patriot or Rupan? They both did one. But there was one that got in right at the last minute as we were going live for $20. And I think it was Patriot, as a matter of fact. I think it was Patriot that sent a $19.99 super chat right as we were going off air last Tuesday. Got in just in time. But I want to send a shout out to him to thank you as well. Like I said, please don't feel like you need to do anything at all. I'm not asking you for your money whatsoever. I just threw that out there because I saw super chat. Super chats will go to a veteran-based charity every month, and every month I'll do something different. But anyways, I'll get back to what I was saying before is you did an experiment a month or so ago to where you signed up through a text message for notifications. Are you still doing that? How did that work for you? Were you satisfied with that or what?
I was not satisfied. There was the YouTube notifications are crap. We all know that. It's been that way for a while, and it honestly, it's not really. I don't think it's ever going to get any better. I think there's something to going on, or there's a lot of clutter in the platform, and this, that, and the other, and I think that's part of the issue. But anyway, yeah, I did try that. Maybe half of what normally shows up for a live stream signed up for that service. And I got to the point that the free trial was over. And with the number of people using that service, I was going to be paying like $2 a person for them to be able to get text notifications. Yeah.
How long was it? Was it a time frame or number of messages sent? How many the trial?
The trial was a time frame. Yeah, it was 2 weeks.
Time frame. Okay. Because I know G was talking about, he was looking at one at one point, and it was free until there was like 100 messages sent. Well, if you have 100 people sign up, that's just one notification, or it was some numbers. I didn't know if you did a time frame or a number of messages.
No, once you sign up, yeah, it is based on a not messages received, but messages sent.
Yeah.
Delivered. Messages delivered.
That would suck if it was received.
Messages delivered. So yeah, I mean, and it
take care, Trollmaster.
The first level that you could buy into, I think, was like either $14.99 or $19.99 a month or something, and then it went up from there. And that was like a few hundred for that.
That's still pretty high, just for notification system.
It was going to cost, if everybody that normally showed up to a live chat, I was sending out text notifications, not subs. Good Lord, that would be ridiculous. But everybody that normally showed up to a live chat on average was signed up. I figured it was going to cost me somewhere between like $40 and $50, which is about $1 a piece. Yeah, a month for that. Yeah. And that's cool.
$700 a year.
Well, I mean, and that's cool if
notifications.
cool if you've got that much engagement and people are utilizing the service and this, that, and the other. But for whatever reason, whether they weren't getting the text notifications, I had a couple people tell me they weren't, and the company said there was. I actually talked with support about it, and there was like there's no reason they shouldn't have received it. So I don't know. It's it's just one of the things where it's a tech issue or something. I don't know what the problem was, but yeah, it just wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't feasible. Maybe one day we'll try it again, but
maybe. Yeah. I'll just I was thinking about trying it, but I was like, you know what? I want to see how Clover does, and I haven't heard you mention it in quite a while, so I kind of assumed that something was up, because usually if something really is good, then you and I will discuss it and say, hey man, I'm really happy with this, but I didn't hear anything for a while about it, so I figured something might have been up, good or bad, but I knew that something was up because I hadn't heard you talk about it. Excuse me, didn't mean to cough in your ear. Sorry.
You're fine. Yeah, that's why.
Trying to get all that stuff out.
It wasn't that it sucked. I mean,
no. I understand. I just wanted feasible to be worthwhile.
Yeah.
I tell you what, let's do something. You want to give something away?
Yeah, sure.
Give something away. It's going to be something that might not work for everybody because I can only give away what they sent me. We the People holsters. I've got one. I bought one for Leonidas of Spartan to send him on a giveaway. So I've got 2 holsters that I've purchased from them. They sent me a T-shirt. We the People holsters, American made. I don't wear a lot of T-shirts that aren't, kind of like this, just plain, boring, simple. Unfortunately, this is a large. They sent me a large. But if you want to wear a large We the People holster T-shirt, then let me know and I will mail this to you. Great holsters, really cool holsters. But I've got a T-shirt from We the People holsters. So I don't know. If you have it and you win this and you don't want, if you don't want it, then don't try to get the question. Only if you can wear a large, or someone that can wear large, or would like to gift it to someone, or whatever. It's all good. Hey, Warsaw, you're an extra large. That's right. If you win this, you might know someone that might want it. That's a large. So it's all good. So peace, Ben.
I'll tell you what. Since that is a large, and that might be. Yeah. That might have to be regifted. I'll throw a patch in on that.
There you go. How about that? There you go. I tell you what.
So you will at least get to keep something.
That's right. And I'll throw a patch in there as well. So you'll get at least one of my patches and Clover's patches and a T-shirt that you can give to someone else or use it for a cleaning rag. Dead serious. I mean, it's something you can. I'm not saying it because a cleaning rag. Everyone needs a gun cleaning rag. So whatever you want to do.
Those Springfield Armory shirts we got at SHOT Show really came in handy for that.
Yes, they do. That's what I'm using. The green one especially. Anyway, so let's think about this. I just thought about doing this. It says on my desk, so I don't even know what kind of question that's. You got a question in mind?
No, I don't. Come on. Come on. Something on the fly. It's all good.
All right. Let's see here. Let's just let me go over here. And let's see if I can find the answer to this. Okay.
Beaver's out there now. What up, Beaver?
What's up, Beaver? Trying to find some good gun.
He just comes around for the giveaway. That's horrible.
Yeah, he does. I mean, yeah, you gotta do it. I mean, you gotta do it. All right, let's just do this. Let's do this. Ow, that hurt. My back is starting to get a little bit better. Let's do this. Nice yacht. Hey, thanks, A&A. I stole it. I wish it was big YouTube money, but the dumbass left the keys in it, so I took it. You're here to watch me throw my guns in the lake. It's already happened. Sorry, I had a terrible accident that my safe fell overboard, and they're all at the bottom of the lake. So, golly, now I just have to go start a new cache of weapons here. I don't even know what to think about. I mean, my mind is blank right now on good trivia questions. Okay, let's do this. Thursday night, Clover had on his show 2 gentlemen from a new platform. So it's a 2-part question. 2-part question. 2-part question.
Think they can handle that?
I think they probably can. The first part is, what is the platform's name? And 2, where are they based out of?
Oh, that's
where are they based out of? And you can start now. I'll watch the gun channels. I'll watch both of them.
Yeah, I can.
So the name of the platform and where they are based out of. Last Thursday night, Clover on After Hours had a show, had a couple guys watching from a new platform.
I had a couple guys on the show, not watching.
Yeah, on the show. Yeah, on the show from a new platform. 2 gentlemen 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 from a new platform. What's the platform's name and where are they from? That is not correct, Hottie. Nothing on the gun channel side.
Second part's going to be
the second part's going to be the interesting thing. I'll say the Hottie's half right. I'll just say Hottie's half right. How about that? UGEtube, that is not correct. Unknown.
That ain't even half right, bro. Come on.
He watches the show, but can't remember.
He's usually like me. He can't remember what he had for breakfast.
I hear you.
I was talking bad about User on that show. I'm kind of glad he don't remember it.
Einstein says Hottie's trying. He's still halfway there.
He's just
Ozzy's halfway there.
He's just going to go down the list of states. I think.
Yeah, eventually you'll hit 50 states. You have to win at least eventually, Hottie. Ozzy says GunStreamer in South Carolina, negative Ghost Rider. Password is full. Nothing on the gun channels. The question is HBO Matt is this. Thursday night on After Hours with Clover, he had two gentlemen on his show on a new platform, a social media platform. Two questions are, two-part question. What is the platform's name and where is it based out of? And Gunpowder Beauty says GunStreamer in Florida. That is not true. Hottie says GunStreamer in Illinois. You've only got 47 more to go, bro. Keep it coming.
That would be really interesting.
Texas is not correct.
It'd be really interesting if it was Illinois.
Yeah, it would be. Wouldn't
somebody got to have some Google foo. It ain't that hard.
I mean, go watch the damn video. It doesn't take that.
By now you can Google it. I'm just saying.
Right.
Oh, Warsaw was closed.
Warsaw's closed. GunStreamer, Ryan Flowers. Your Wednesday and Thursday mixed up.
Cover all the bases. Yeah.
Yeah, GunStreamer, Massachusetts, negative. Now Night Strike's trying to pimp off the answer to everybody. GunStreamer, Ohio is not correct. GunTube. GunTube was mentioned, but that's not the one we're talking about.
Not where the guys were from, no.
Yeah, it's hilarious. You know, Night Strike's trying to sell off his knowledge. Mike Ozzy says GunStreamer, North Carolina, half correct as well. Interesting. I didn't think it was that hard, honestly.
I think so too. It can be Googled, but apparently they're not. People are not able to.
Colorado, negative. Dakota, no.
Google. Let me Google it. Hopefully.
Yeah. This is funny. I'm going to tell you guys that GunStreamer is half the answer because it's been half of it the whole time. So now it's just, where are they out of? Carolina, UGEtube gun exchange. No. This is hilarious.
I'm going to the About Us page for GunStreamer. Ooh.
It's right there, isn't it?
It's not. Let's go to contact.
It's not. Oh, okay. GunStreamer, Texas, negative.
Oh, man. The Google Foo. Yeah, the Google Foo ain't working, Jack. Okay, their Facebook page. I'm going to their Facebook page. I'm just kind of letting everybody know ahead of time.
I just assumed that it was out there.
Apparently not. They definitely said it.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Definitely said it in the chat. I say we scrap it and go with another question.
All right, we'll scrap it and go with another question. All right.
It's not out there. I went to their Facebook page and so
it was GunStreamer. It's Utah. Ironically, GunStreamer and Utah Gun Exchange are both out of Utah. Interesting. All right. So let's see here. Okay, here's a question for you guys. Man, I don't even know if it's out there public or not. I was going to say, what training is Mike going through this weekend currently right now?
How about this one? Let's do this.
I don't know if he told you when he was going to Diego or not. So, anyways, what are you saying now?
Hang on, I'm going to side chat.
You're going to side chat it? Uh-oh. The secrets. Excellent. Go for it. Excellent. I like that. Great question.
Okay. On Tactical Tuesday on the Ghost Tactical channel this week, we talked about the new Supreme Court Justice nominee. What is his name?
The new Supreme Court Justice nominee. What is his name?
We will accept close spelling.
Yeah, because it's yeah. If we kind of understand that what you're trying to say, yes, we'll probably take that because this has gone way too long.
D-Temp, close enough.
D-Temp got it. Yep.
Like
Brett Kavanaugh.
Brett Kavanaugh.
Brett Kavanaugh. He has been in the circuit court for D.C. and was around for Heller. I know 3. I think he's around for Heller 2 also, wasn't he? He was not there for original Heller, but I think he was there for Heller 2 and 3. But anyways, yeah, Brett Kavanaugh is the nominee for Associate Supreme Court Justice from President Trump. And so D-Temp, email my friend. Put in here live at ghosttactical.us is my email address. You get a t-shirt, a CloverTac patch, and it goes tactical patch. If you can't wear a large, you can re-gift it. You can use it as a cleaning rag. You can hang it up on your wall. Hell, I don't care. Whatever you want to do with it. But congratulations for winning the stuff, and thank you for everyone for watching. Make sure you check out. Man, we got a lineup tonight. We have Gun Gals is on tonight.
Foreign and domestic.
Got the closer at 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern. The closer, I'm assuming Midnight Range is going to be doing his. What were you saying?
Foreign and domestic.
Foreign and domestic. Go check out the Crazy Scotsman. That's a fun. If you just want to relax and have a good time watching it, that one's hilarious. Warsaw says, email me if you want to do a live stream and we'll make it happen someday. Hey man, you want to do a live stream? I'm all for people turn their cameras on. So if you want me to come on a live stream with you, I'd do it in a heartbeat. So let me know, bro. I'm all for people turning their cameras on.
There's also this other guy on. I'm not sure if anybody is familiar with him or not. I think it's Yankee Marshall.
I think wasn't it like Wanky the Junior Ranger or something?
Yeah, that may have been the Junior Ranger Marshall guy or something.
Yeah, no.
Maybe it's
it'll be interesting to see the comments tonight on Yankee with him shooting on camera. It could be a really fun one to watch. So go check out Yankee. But no, we've got Gun Gals. If you haven't remembered, Gun Gals now has their own channel. It's actual Gun Gals.
and their own gun channels as well.
And Patreon, is that correct?
And Patreon. Yep.
So Einstein says, thank you, Ghost and Clover. Take care. Don't let the negativity in this world hold your head high, shoulders back, and stick to your guns. No pun intended. Absolutely. That's great advice from Einstein. Yep. But no, check out Gun Gals tonight. Obviously, Yankee. Everyone checks out Yankee. But go check out Gun Gals. If I'm not mistaken, is this the first episode on their own channel tonight?
Second.
Did I miss one last week? Oh, I was sick last weekend. That's right. I was sicker than a dog last week, that Sunday night. But yeah, then you've got the closer, and then there's always a couple shows after Travis if Travis doesn't go too late. But I know that Travis, Midnight Range team, will be doing the closer tonight. Check out the Gun Gals and obviously Yankee. And thank you for watching this. Thank you for always supporting mine and Clover's channels. It really does mean a lot. And we enjoy this. And I hope we didn't offend anybody. Hope we didn't cost somebody. Well, yeah, maybe we did offend somebody, but it is what it is. I enjoy it. And you got anything closing remarks real quick?
I thought you said there, because it had been more truthful. I thought you said, I hope we offended somebody.
Oh,
you probably, if you're not offending somebody, you're probably not doing things right.
That's right. Ben says he's back. That was a short hiatus, so welcome back. Anyways, guys, we're going to get out of here. It is Sunday, 5:20 my time, and got some stuff I got to take care of. And Clover's got to get to that grill so that stuff doesn't shrivel up.
It's slow right now. Actually, I've got to go and crank it up for just a little bit and finish it off. But right now it's slow and slow. It can stay on there the rest of the night. Wouldn't hurt anything.
All right. So everybody take care, and thanks for watching, guys. We love every single one of you. If you're listening on replay, Come check us out live. Check out Ghost Tactical's channel. Check out CloverTac's channel. Both of us are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, PodBean, iTunes, GunStreamer, UGEtube, GunChannels.com, GunTube.org. If there's a way to get on social media and self-promote our craft, then we are out there doing it. Go check us out. We like to have a good time. We try to keep things relatively lighthearted. We try to speak on topics that mean something to us. May not be what's fun and the hot topic in the world, but we try to keep it real to what we believe in, and we enjoy hanging out and engagement with our viewers and our fans, and more importantly, our friends. So thank you to everyone who's always supporting us, and we will see you next time. We'll probably see you tomorrow night on Clover's Monday night MOA Monday show. So we'll see you tomorrow at 7 Central over on Clover. Till next time, guys, Semper Fi.